What's up, people? SoftOtaku here. I just got back from the dentist. I was there for an hour like this. Oh, it was very tiring and I'm still numb. And I have to go to work in an hour. But I'm so excited about what I'm about to show you that I wanted to get started on it right away. Remember how excited I was, and I am, about this guy right here? Well, someone from a company called, I believe I'm pronouncing this right, GeChic, G-E-C-H-I-C, in Taiwan, reached out to me and said, hey, why don't you do an unboxing of our monitor and hook it up to this guy, because we made one that will match it, and we're gonna release that sucker. So that came today, and I'm gonna unbox that now and show it to you. And I'm just gonna read a little bit here from what was sent to me. It says, we plan to launch a new 11.6-inch portable monitor with red-white color design as a perfect match for the Mini Famicom. The monitor, called the OnLap 1101F, is just 480 grams weight and with great display quality, IPS, Full HD, True Color, and could be a charming gadget, I like charming gadgets, to match the retro game console. So we're going to take a look at that sucker. They also sent me some accessories. I don't know how many people know this, but I actually lived in Taiwan for a year. So it's kind of neat to do some kind of a collaboration with a company from Taiwan. I'm really looking forward to this. So let's see what we got. Here's the main event. Comes in a box like this. This very one, in fact. It's got a handle. You could use this again if you wanted to. You know what I mean? And let me turn the camera around and we'll open it up. All right, so let's see here. Pull this flap out, or push it and then pull it. And I see. Okay. Da-na-na. Packing foam, very nice. Here we have OnLap 1101F manual. It's got English, Zhongwen, Chinese, and Japanese, Nihongo. And then it's got some handy Velcro, or as they call it in Japan, magic tape straps, presumably for the cords. Who needs manuals? Idea here is just to see how easy it is to get it set up without having to read stuff. Who wants to read? I want to play video games. So quickly, obviously, this is the power cord, and it says in the manual to connect both USB to power it. I haven't been super careful with that. I've plugged them in just one, and it's worked fine. I've plugged both into my PS4, and that powered the monitor. It was already powering the monitor when I'd only plugged one in, so it seems like it's kind of flexible about that, but disclaimer, it does say in the manual specifically you should do it a certain way, not to damage it, so don't do what I did necessarily. The other one that I just showed is the HDMI. And then here's for if you're going to plug it into the wall. But yeah, here's an earphone jack thing, and that way you can play with two people with earphones. Okay, so here's my iPad Air, and that's how big it is. I think the iPad Air is 9.7 inches, I want to say. I've got it in a big old case at the moment, but just to give you an idea, this monitor's significantly larger than an iPad Air. I think it's about the same size, if I recall correctly, as the large iPad Pro. So there's a thing. I always thought, you know, makers of tablets should just make them so you can plug your stuff into them, but I don't know. Okay, wow, that really is very Famicom colored. That's cute. Wow, I'm kind of excited about this. I was wondering how well it would really match. It's got even the white on the back here, and I don't know what that is yet, so I shouldn't mess with it. And it's even got kind of gold toned buttons on the side, up and down, I guess menu, settings, and power. There's a shadow, but that's what they say, or that's what they are. So let's see here. Oh, this is cute. All right, so the monitor itself is white. I mean, the bezel around the monitor is white. It looks like it's got really small stereo speakers. It's obviously still wrapped. When I get it all plugged in and going, I'll show you that. The other side of it, you've got, come on, focus. Here's HDMI, it's hard to say, DP, DisplayPort, and VGA. And then this is the power, I believe, and then the earphone jack. Sorry if it's hard to see. It's kind of hard to get a good angle here. There you go. And on the back, I don't know for sure yet, but that might be a place to connect a mount for it. And on the top, it looks like there's a similar kind of hole. All right, and then I guess this is a stand, maybe? Not really sure. It seems like a stand. I just thought it'd be interesting to play around with it before I read the stuff. Yeah, there's a stand, right? So I reckon you put this back in this little case and stand it up. Look at that. That is very clever. I like it. And then when you're done with it, you turn it around so that it protects the screen. Okay, now before I get it all hooked up, let's just go ahead and bust out the mini Famicom and set it next to it just for color comparison. Woohoo! Bonus re-unboxing. I put the mini Famicom back in the box just because I wanted to see how easy it was to do that. I've ordered a case. I'm waiting for it. Anyway, here you go. Taking it out again. You want those points? Go for it. I don't know if somebody's already claimed them, but anywho, let's get back to the comparison. Let's see how well it matches this monitor. It seems to me that it's a really good set though. And you just got to get a case basically that can hold all this together and you will be in business. So that's controller 2. When I made the first video of this, these controllers kept falling out. I don't know if they will now as well, but it doesn't matter. Just trying to compare colors. That is almost an exact match. I'd say the white, it's hard to see on the video maybe, but the white on the bezel of the monitor might be just a little bit whiter than this is, you know what I mean? But it's not like a meaningful really difference. There's just a little bit of a cream tone to this, but it's pretty white. And that looks really neat. Now I'm gonna get it hooked up and play around with it a bit. A few more details I've got before I get into this. The monitor, I'm informed by the company, does not have an internal battery, but if you use the monitor and the Famicom Mini and a 2000 mAh power bank together, it can run for 8 hours. So I'll try something like that. Obviously you can just plug it into a power strip as well. Let's get into it, see how it works. Obviously you can plug just about anything into this. Like you could plug a Mac Mini, for example, with the display port, or anything HDMI, because it's got the HDMI cable adapter, and then it has a VGA. Alright, I found one of these things that I use to charge my phone when I travel. 77%, so it's got enough. And this one's only $1,200. They said 2,000 could run them both for 8 hours, so this should hopefully at least get them working for a little while. Let's find out. Let's go portable. Wanted to point out, this is an adjustable stand. It closes like that, and then depending on what kind of angle you want, you just plug this part into one of these here, right? So if you want extreme tilt, you go here, and then on down. I'm gonna go with more, or rather less tilt, right? That is pretty smart. And let's go ahead and get the plastic off of the monitor itself. It's very light, by the way. I mean, if I were to say it's about, it maybe weighs about as much as 2 Frisbees, I don't think I'd really be exaggerating. It's super lightweight. So it would be very easy to put this in your bag and take it around with you. There you go. Because it's not heavy. And it's got this to protect it, plus it's got that little bag thing that it came with. Where'd that go? I don't know where I put it. It's here somewhere. Anyway, there it is. So you put it, you know, like that, and then in here, I think you're gonna have enough protection for it, really. There's that cat. Okay, that looks quite nice. All right, we'll put it back here, see if the cat can knock it over or not. It's the cat test. Oh, cat, you're not in the video. Just your paws. Maybe if we move it this way. Anyway, he's checking stuff out. And then, as I've shown before, this thing is so small. I mean, it's smaller than my hand, pretty much, right? So you can literally put that in your coat pocket if you want to. So we're talking pretty massive portability here. Okay, so let me get it hooked up. I'll be back. I think I've set that already. When I plug this in to the power slot, it automatically turns on. You'll see it turn on. There you go. And it'll search for an input, and there's no signal. So now we need to get this guy plugged in. On the left side here, there's a light showing that it's on. So that's good. Oh, there's a power button. Duh. Right there. Okay. Pretty impressed so far. Alright, I think it's all connected up as it needs to be. As you can see, there's kind of a lot of wires. But a lot of that is the mini Famicom. There's nothing that can be done about that. The controller wires, the power wire, and then obviously to connect it. So, you just shove them back behind the monitor like always, a little spaghetti action, but it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. But what I'm going to do now, this has got power. I'm just going to turn this on and see if it just automatically fires up or not. So here we go. One thing I don't like about the mini Famicom is there's no light to show you that it's on, but there you go. We know that it's working because it's working, and that looks awesome. That looks awesome. All right. And then you've got language setup. This is not a touch screen, right? So you've got to use the buttons on the side, which are on the left side, but let me zoom in on the screen. You've seen the mini Famicom. Just wanted to show you how nice they look together, right? It's kind of a set. And then, as I said, you obviously can use them on with other stuff. And the speakers are speaking. Let's turn up the volume a little first. Hold on a second. I'm all excited and I can't concentrate. So language setup, you've got English, French, German, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. Push the settings button. Nothing happens, so we'll push the menu button. Okay, and then you mess around with stuff. You've got display settings, brightness, contrast, sharpness. Whoa, too fast. Okay, color settings. So it's HDMI 720p. It's just telling what signal it's getting. It's running basically. Oh, interesting. Okay. I was just looking at stuff. It's set to English already, so I'm happy. The volume's not turned up very loud at all, so I'll be cranking that up here momentarily once I figure out how. Manual image adjust, that's always nice. And then you can change the aspect ratio if you want to make it 4:3, and it's got overscan options, or an option to do overscan or not. So I'm guessing with no menu on, yeah, there you go. So the volume was at 30. I'm gonna put it up to, let's try 60, we'll double it. And then I'm gonna reset the system. All right, so it's gradual adjustments. Let's go ahead and crank it up. It doesn't get super loud, but it also doesn't distort, and that's more important to me. I hate it when the volume distorts on things like this. So obviously if you want to have more volume, you plug in little speakers. I've got loads of those. In fact, I've got some in the bag right next to this, but that's beside the point. Anyway, it's definitely loud enough, and I'm speaking a bit louder now so you can hear me. But I'm going to keep it turned way up like this to see if it distorts at all, because I'm curious about that. Let's play something. I haven't done anything with the settings. I believe my Famicom should be set to turning, I think it's on pixel perfect mode, so it's going to be square. Because I actually prefer that to the scanline settings on the mini Famicom. I think it just looks too dirty, because my CRTs don't look that dirty. So anyway, most of them. What shall we play? The problem is, I guess I'm gonna have to turn this, even this sound being on, I might get in trouble for this. So, stinking Nintendo. What I'm seeing so far, there are no dead pixels that I can see. That's really good. Sometimes with these, kind of displays, you have a dead pixel or 3 or whatever, and I think that there's a certain amount that you just have to put up with. You can't return it. I don't know how they are as a company, but it looks like it's very clean. So let me actually turn the volume down because, okay. It does speed up a little bit, but it doesn't realize that you want to turn it all the way down. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a mute button, but at the same time, it did have like a little thing that said mute on or off, so I don't know. Anyway, as far as I can tell so far, you just have to hold it down. So let's pick a game here that everybody knows. Probably this one's a good way to go. And like I said, yeah, it's going to be on pixel perfect mode. And let me turn off the lights. I'm going to focus on the picture more than on the monitor itself now. And the picture that I'm seeing in the viewfinder is pretty close to what's on the monitor. The reds on the top, I guess it's a curtain. It's a bit more red on the screen itself than it's showing up on the camera. I'll see if I can, yeah, see that's a little better, but it's more an issue with just where the thing's focusing. I think that's a bit better. We'll leave it like that, I think. And let's see how we do. Kind of trying to test input lag. The Japanese one doesn't have Mike Tyson's Punch Out, so I can't use that, but I'm not feeling anything. But with this game, I definitely notice if there's a delay when I jump. And there is not. That's probably the most important thing out of everything that I've tested so far, obviously besides the picture being decent. There's no delay, like nothing noticeable or meaningful. Now I won't say that's not the case for maybe Mike Tyson's Punch Out or something, but for this, I have no problem playing this game. It feels the way it should, you know what I mean? It feels normal. This is awesome. What an awesome, awesome toy. Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting all excited. Don't blame them for my poor gameplay. This is so exciting. Wow, I'm gonna start over because I want to fly up and get the things. But what a great thing. It's the same colors as the Mini Famicom. Obviously you can use it, as I will, for other things. But it's a really nice size screen for this because, you know, as much as you clean up 8-bit graphics, it's only gonna look so good. And, you know, sitting next to it up close like this and playing it, it's kind of strange because it's so modern, right? But it's wicked nostalgic as well. And I'm going to prove that I don't suck at this game too badly, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm not. This is great. This is like the best Christmas present this year. So thanks again, GeChic. Freak out. GeChic. GeChic. Freak out. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really, haven't been listening to disco music enough lately. Whoa! Oh, almost freaked out right there. Okay, make him fly. Mario, fly! Fly! Fly like a bird! Oh! Now, keep in mind, I've been to the dentist and I had a lot of painkillers, so that is all you need to know. Lots of drilling happened. I did that on purpose, so there. I'll just show maybe one other game that's going to have a different kind of color setup. You know what I mean? So, something not as pastel. I don't know. There's lots of possibilities, but I don't want it to be too old either. I guess Super Contra is a good one to go with. Okay, it looks good. You know what I mean? So here we go. I turned off the audio because Nintendo claims every video that has any audio from one of their games. I've had various videos get claimed recently. Sorry, we're out of focus. I want to make sure that I get it nice and clear. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, I'm not good at the Contra games, so let me just get that out there right now. This is so cool. I love how it's got, it's kind of, the stand is also a case. I wasn't expecting that. And it also has this little red, I'm going to turn the lights back on now. This little thing to put it in. I'm really going to use this. Like, this was sent to me for review, you know, but I'm totally going to use this. And what a neat thing. It's all being run off of this phone charger thing, which is 1200 mAh. And it's used 3% in the time that I've had it plugged in. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm glad that I happen to have that little power brick thing laying around. I think I paid $10 for that, maybe 20. I think you can get them for 10. So take it back to the main screen there. if you don't think this is cool and just totes adorbs, then I think that you are Scrooge, because this is awesome. Just another thought as it occurs to me. One of the major complaints people have about this mini Famicom, besides the fact the controllers are tiny, but they actually don't hurt my hands, is that the cables are connected and they're super short, like it's 2 feet long. But that's obviously not a problem when you're playing on a screen like this. And this would be such a cool thing just to have like next to your bed if you wanted to do that. And you could have multiple things hooked up to it. So you could have this hooked up to it. You could have your, I don't know what, just whatever. Like, so it's got this sunshade thing. And you know what it does? It shades the sun. So there's all this light coming from everywhere, but you get a really nice picture without the glare. So that is clever. And as I said, I haven't used any screws or anything to install it. I just had to figure out kind of the origami thing. You have to put this thing into the stand and then put the screen into the stand. So that's actually really cool. And I probably will use that because when you're done with it, you know, I mean, now that I know how to do it, I'll be able to just probably slip it right on there. You can just fold it back up, like, watch me not be able to now. And, right, and this is very portable as well. So it's a nice little bonus. So that's something you might consider, especially if you're gonna use it somewhere with a lot of glare outside, whatever. So cool. All right, so some final thoughts on this guy. Obviously, I like this, we know that. But this thing, it matches it. It's a set. And just one more chance for size comparison. There you go. You could do 3 of these across the screen, basically, right? But, you know, I've said pretty much what I wanted to say. I've been toting this around with me in a bag. I put it in the basket of my bicycle because I'm environmentally friendly like that. I usually ride a bicycle to work. And anyway, you know, it's obviously bouncing around a bit in that basket. But no problems, and it's so light. Honestly, I put it in my work bag and I can't tell the difference, like that it's even in there. Obviously, the mini Famicom is super light as well, so it makes for a good little set. And I'm going to use this. This is something that I'm going to use. So you might check it out. The price, I don't know. It hasn't been released yet, so you'll have to watch Amazon. I think they told me they just sent the first shipment so they could be distributed. So it should be available on Japanese Amazon in this next week or so, maybe next week, I'm not sure. But just to give you a heads up, they designed this color-wise really to go with this. But obviously you can use it for other things, and in fact I did hook it up to my PS4 just to give it a go, and I'll leave you with that bonus footage. But my final thoughts on this, it's pretty sweet. Very positive impression. It seems to be durable enough. I was even throwing it around like this when I made the video. I didn't leave that footage in there, so there's some more throwing for you. I like it, and you know, the mini Famicom is not something that's going to stay hooked to my TV all the time. I don't have enough HDMI ports, plus the cords really are so short. This is nice. I might just have like a little mini Famicom station with this thing all the time. And then my wife and I are traveling for the holidays. I'm thinking about taking this with me because I may use it. I don't know yet. We'll see, but it's not like it's going to take up a lot of space in my suitcase. It weighs 1 pound, right? Right. Here's a cat for comparison, okay? Thanks for watching. No, don't do that.
Sauron was defeated by a last alliance of men and elves. It is here that for 2,500 years the rangers of Gondor stood watch, guarding against a nameless threat they had all but forgotten. And while the strength of